Namaskar and welcome to Sports Buzz with me, Deepika, your window to all news and updates from the world of sports. In the next half an hour, we will take you across T20 Cricket World Cup updates, news and updates from Champions League matches, ongoing talks to hold biennial FIFA World Cup and much more. But first up, the headlines. Bangladesh will start as favourites when they face Papua New Guinea in a must-win Group B League game of the T20 World Cup later today. Bangladesh will need a win to keep their chances of making it to the Super 12 alive. India fine-tuned their T20 World Cup preparations with a convincing 9-wicket victory over Australia in their final warm-up game, while Sri Lanka sealed their place in Super 12s with a massive 70-run win over Ireland in a Group A first-round match. FIFA President Gianni Infantino seeks consensus over biennial World Cup plans. FIFA awaits the results of a feasibility study and economic analysis ahead of a global summit on 20th of December. And in UEFA Champions League, Cristiano Ronaldo's header complete stunning comeback for Manchester United against Atalanta at Old Trafford. Defending champions Chelsea trashed Malmo. Meanwhile, Spanish club Barcelona halt worst ever Champions League start with a win over Dynamo Kyiv. Starting with cricket, right now it's a do-or-die match for Bangladesh in the T20 World Cup qualifiers today. Bengal Tigers will face Papua New Guinea in today's match. Bangladesh defeat at the hands of Scotland in the first match has made their way to the Super 12 even more difficult. In such a situation, Bangladesh not only needs to win, but they have to win this victory with a very good margin. A win against Papua New Guinea will give Bangladesh 2 crucial points, and then they would also hope that Oman lose their final game against Scotland. A win against Papua New Guinea will give Bangladesh 2 crucial points, as we said before, and they would also hope that Oman lose against the team Scotland. And meanwhile, the Asad Wala-led Papua New Guinea lost both their games against Oman by 10 wickets and Scotland by 17 runs and are already out of contention. Wala, who hit a brisk half-century in their lung opener, would need to play a big innings and also need support from other batters. And India, England, Afghanistan and South Africa all registered victories in the second set of warm-up games of the day ahead of Super 12 stage of ICC Men's T20 World Cup. Russi van der Dussen hit a stunning unbeaten century of 51 deliveries and South Africa pulled off an extraordinary run chase to beat Pakistan. Van der Dussen and David Miller slammed 22 off the final over to seal the win of the very last ball of the match. And earlier, Pakistan were asked to bat first at the Tolerance Oval in Abu Dhabi and lost skipper Babar Azam inside the power play, with the opener clean bowled by Kagiso Rabada. Shoaib Malik's 28 and Asif Ali's explosive 32 kept the momentum going until Rabada returned to dismiss both in the penultimate over. On the other hand, in the warm-up matches in T20 Cricket World Cup, Afghanistan stifled West Indies with a true display of hitting inside the power play. Afghanistan won the toss and opted to bat in their warm-up fixture against the West Indies in Dubai. And the decision paid immediate dividends as the opening batters brought up the 50 partnership inside 5 overs. Roshan Chase in particular found the going tough, with the West Indies number 3 managing just 18 runs off his first 29 balls. Chase did eventually reach his half-century, but the win never looked on and West Indies limped home still 56 runs short. And India, who was up against Team Australia at T20 Cricket World Cup's warm-up matches, bagged its second warm-up win with demolishing Australia. All the Indian batters contributed to the 8-wicket victory with Rohit Sharma leading the way with a fantastic half-century. Rohit Sharma and KL Rahul started steadily on a sluggish track where shot making was difficult against the Pacers. Against the spinners, however, Rahul looked at absolute ease as he smashed Agar and Zampa down the ground for 2 sixes and a 4. Rohit at the other end seemed happy to play his second fiddle. Earlier in the day, Australian skipper Aaron Finch chose to bat first against Rohit Sharma-led Indian team. And in yesterday's match, England survived late scare against New Zealand. Though New Zealand recovered from 103 with a loss of 9 wickets to take their game against England to the last over, but eventually fell short by 13 runs in the end in Abu Dhabi. After Guptill got New Zealand off to a flyer, England rode back into the game and threatened to finish it early. Earlier, Kane Williamson won the toss and chose to put England into bat first. In yet another warm-up match, Sri Lanka defeated Ireland by 70 runs in the T20 World Cup qualifier match to make it to the Super 12. Playing first after losing the toss, Sri Lanka scored 171 for the loss of 7 wickets. For Sri Lanka, Vanindu Hasaranga scored 71 and Pathum Nissanka scored 61 runs. Josh Little took 4 wickets for Ireland. In reply to 172 runs, Ireland's team could only score 101 runs and were all out in 18.2. Captain Andrew Balbani scored 41 runs. Sri Lanka beat Namibia by 7 wickets before Ireland. The team will play its last match against Netherlands on 22nd of October. And in badminton, PV Sindhu gets the better of world rank 12 Bhusanan with a score of 21-16, 12-21 and 21-15 in round 2. Sindhu now moves into the quarter-final of Denmark Open World Tour Super 1000. PV Sindhu will now face world-ranked 8 An Seong, its 13th win for Sindhu against the Thai shuttler across 14 matches. And now update from international football. Barcelona's teenage forward Ansu Fati has agreed a new contract that runs until 2027, the La Liga club announced on Wednesday. The 18-year-old Spain international's new deal includes a buyout clause of €1 billion. Fati burst onto the scene for Barcelona at 16 when he became the second youngest player in La Liga's history. He quickly established himself as one of the most exciting young talents in the world, becoming the youngest player to score in the Champions League and the youngest player to score for Spain as well. Ansu Fati, who inherited Barcelona's number 10 jersey from Lionel Messi when the Argentine left for Paris Saint-Germain, came through the youth system at the Catalan club and has had to fight his way back from 4 surgeries to repair an injury to his left knee, which was suffered in the year 2020. Fati played his first game in almost a year last month when he scored after only a few minutes on the pitch as a substitute in a 3-0 victory over Levante. The club and player will hold a news conference on Thursday to announce the deal. Well, in another news from international football, FIFA President Gianni Infantino said on Wednesday he wanted to seek consensus over plans for a biennial World Cup and changes to the international match calendar after facing fierce criticism from European federations. FIFA's ruling council agreed to hold a global summit on 20th of December to discuss the proposal for a World Cup to be held every 2 years rather than every 4 years. However, Infantino did not commit to hold a binding vote on the plans after UEFA President Alexander Ceferin warned against it, saying there would be terrible consequences for football in general if we pushed ahead. Well, FIFA will now wait for the results of a feasibility study and also an economic analysis of the financial impact of the extra World Cup, which are expected to be delivered before the summit. A meeting between technical groups of FIFA and UEFA is also scheduled for the next week. Ceferin has said UEFA would boycott an additional World Cup, and his opposition to the plan has been echoed by European clubs and leagues. Infantino noted the debate had been heated but said that it was a sign of change within FIFA that such a wide-ranging consultation was being held.
You know, if this is the end point, then obviously there will be no consensus. But if this is the starting point, then we have to see how we can approach the different opinions and the different parties. And to do that, we need to do, as FIFA as well, our part of the job. We need to finalize our feasibility study. We need to look at the sporting merits, at the economic merits, and then we can have a reasoned discussion rather than an emotional discussion about World Cups every 2 years, other types of competitions, what kind of events we can create to make football better and so everyone can benefit. So I don't know what the ultimate result will be. We have been asked by the Congress to make a study on a feasibility study on World Cups every 2 years and some other matters. That's what we are doing, and at the same time we englobe and include the feedback of everyone and we try to come up with something good.
Well, that's going to be a huge development in the world of football after COVID-19 pandemic. And moving on to Champions League now, Manchester United registered a resounding victory against Atalanta at Old Trafford in a thrilling match played last night in the UEFA Champions League. However, in the first half, Manchester United were trailing Atalanta by 2-0. The first goal of the match was scored by David Zappacosta in the 15th minute for Atalanta. Meanwhile, Mary Demiral scored a second goal for Atalanta in the 28th minute to make the lead 2-0. Team star player Cristiano Ronaldo ensured the team's victory by scoring the third goal in the 81st minute, and thanks to a superb header. With this goal, Ronaldo has 137 goals in the Champions League. Manchester United have reached the top of Group F with this victory. And in another match, defending champions Chelsea beat Malmo by 4-0. From the first half, Chelsea showed a great game and did not give any chance to Malmo's team. Andreas Christensen scored the first goal for Chelsea in the 9th minute, while midfielder Jorginho scored 2 goals for Chelsea. Jorginho scored both these goals as penalties. Chelsea's fourth goal was scored by Kai Havertz in the 48th minute. Malmo's team failed to score a single goal, and Chelsea managed to win the match 4-0. The Spanish club is going through its worst phase since Lionel Messi left Barcelona. And Barcelona finally got the first race in the ongoing Champions League. In the match played yesterday, Barcelona defeated Dynamo Kyiv by 1-0. Gerard Piqué scored the only goal for Barcelona. This is the first race of the Spanish club in the 3 matches played so far. Barcelona with this are third in Group E with 3 points in hand. Well, there are many more updates from the world of sports. Let's take a quick look at the sports wrap to know more.
Tokyo Olympics bronze medalist wrestler Bajrang Punia has resumed training after recovering from a knee injury. However, he will not play in the national championships to be held in Gonda, Uttar Pradesh from 19th to 21st of November. Bajrang Punia, aged 27, had a ligament strain before the Olympics, but he was back again. He was also successful in winning the bronze medal in 65 kg freestyle event of the Olympics. Defending champions India will begin their title defence campaign against France on 24th of November on the first day of the FIH Junior Men's Hockey World Cup to be held at the Kalinga Stadium in Bhubaneswar. India has been placed in a comparatively easy Group B along with Canada, France and Poland. Former Australian cricketer Michael Slater was arrested in Sydney for domestic violence. Slater, who has been detained by the police, is accused of domestic violence. The 51 years old, who has also played for Australia in international cricket for a very long time, is also a part of the commentary panel. In the past, he has also done commentary for Indian Premier League and India-England series. Rohit Sharma, the vice-captain of the Indian team, is likely to be appointed as India's next limited overs captain. Virat Kohli will step down from the captaincy after the T20 World Cup, and after this Rohit Sharma can become the captain of not only T20 but the ODI format as well. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, managers are the force to be criticised after teams' poor performances. A manager is the face of the club, and as such, he is the first person to deal with both positives and negatives. A manager has to deal with the repercussions of losses as well. At top clubs, the pressure is constantly high, and on one poor performance can spill the trouble. As such, managers are walking in thin line and have to be careful with what they say and ensure that the team does well in the next game. On that note, here's a look at 4 top high-profile managers in European football who are under pressure at the moment.
Mikel Arteta, Arsenal. A casual observer of football might presume that Mikel Arteta is consistently under pressure. That's because his time at Arsenal continues to be a roller coaster of emotions. A reliable player for the club, Arteta was heavily linked with the club's managerial role after Arsene Wenger stepped down. However, the club chose to appoint Unai Emery, and Arteta joined Manchester City as an assistant to Pep Guardiola. Arteta joined an excellent spell at City where he was widely praised for his contributions. Understandably, Arsenal fans became excited after his appointment in 2019. He led the club to FA Cup and FA Community Shield success in 2020. But ever since then, things have not gone according to plan. Arsenal were abysmal last season, finishing 8th in the league. Despite big spending this summer, the Gunners are currently struggling in the league. Arteta has polarized opinions among fans as well. Nuno Espirito Santo, Tottenham Hotspur. Tottenham Hotspur's managerial hunt this summer must have been an exciting watch for the neutrals, linked with Antonio Conte, Paulo Fonseca, Gennaro Gattuso and Hansi Flick. The club finally appointed Nuno Espirito Santo as their manager. Santo left Wolverhampton Wanderers in the summer. Under him, the Wolves had risen from a championship club to a Premier League regular. However, concerns were raised about his style of play, with Santo preferring a defensive brand of football at Wolves. After a good start to the season, Tottenham Hotspur have regressed. They are struggling in the league table and also registered one successive defeat in the league. Harry Kane is yet to score a goal in the league. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was appointed as the permanent manager of Manchester United in 2019, but questions are still being raised about whether he is the right manager for the club. One cannot deny the progress at the club since Solskjaer's appointment. The Norwegian has sold a lot of aging stars and expensive non-performing arrivals, refreshing the side with world-class players. The likes of Edinson Cavani, Cristiano Ronaldo, Rafael Varane, Harry Maguire and Bruno Fernandes have all been signed under Solskjaer. Despite that, Manchester United continue to be an inconsistent team. The side regularly relies on individual brilliance to bail them out, and there is no clear tactical plan. Solskjaer's vision for Manchester United is evident, but is he the right man to implement that? Manchester United are 3rd in the league and have produced some poor performances recently. Ronald Koeman, Barcelona. Barcelona are a mess. When one thinks that the club cannot fall any lower, Barcelona have managed to do just that. The Lionel Messi saga this summer was embarrassing enough, but now there are much bigger problems at the club. Ronald Koeman is a Barcelona great who left the Netherlands national team job to take over as manager of the club in 2020. The Dutchman is under extreme pressure now though. Koeman has repeatedly made controversial comments in recent weeks. He was reportedly close to leaving the club this summer, but Barcelona could not find a suitable replacement. They have lost the Champions League group stage games to Bayern Munich and Benfica and are in the mid of the league table. The performances in particular have been shocking to witness. Andrea Pirlo and Xavi have been linked with Barcelona's managerial role. Sports Desk, DD India.
Spain's Nations League semi-final win over Italy saw the emergence of the latest star to come through Barcelona's academy in 17-year-old midfielder Gavi. Up against the likes of Marco Verratti and Jorginho, Gavi showed no signs of being overawed by the occasion, producing a confident debut to set up a final clash against Belgium or France. Spain's future looks bright with Gavi now joining club teammates Ansu Fati and Pedri on the international scene. Here, sports, we take you across a look at some of the next wonder kids across European football who are set to join Gavi in emerging stars of the future.
Florian Wirtz Bayer Leverkusen. Described by German boss Hansi Flick as the complete package, Wirtz is on his way to having an incredible season after also making his international debut last month. Unsurprisingly, he has been dubbed as the new Kai Havertz after the former Leverkusen star, and some of Europe's biggest clubs are already queuing up in line for the attacking midfielder. He is German football's biggest talent coming through, and as long as he stays fit and healthy, then he is certain to have big future ahead of him. Edgardo Kamavinga, Real Madrid. After impressing at Rennes, the 18-year-old sealed a £34 million summer move to Real Madrid after being linked to a host of other top European sides, including Manchester United. The gifted teenager is a complete midfielder who operates in deep area of the pitch but can contribute going forward. It will take time for him to fully break into Real Madrid squad, having started 3 of their 9 games across La Liga and the Champions League so far this season. But manager Carlo Ancelotti has said that he has been surprised by the impact that the youngster has already made, and he's got some of the world's top midfielders over the last decade to learn from Luka Modric, Toni Kroos and Casemiro. Nonu Madueke, PSV Eindhoven. England have a wide array of talented attacking wide players in their squad, but Madueke is one name who has been largely out of limelight playing in the Eredivisie. The 19-year-old winger enjoyed a breakthrough season in Netherlands last season, scoring 9 goals and registering 8 assists. He has started this season in a similar vein as he scored twice in 4-0 thrashing of rivals Ajax in the Johan Cruyff Shield final back in August. Madueke made his England under-21 debut back in March and has started to get buzz with clubs including Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool and Tottenham, all set to be monitoring his progress. Ryan Gravenberch, Ajax. The 19-year-old Dutchman is the latest star to come through Ajax's prestigious youth academy after turning down the advances of Paris Saint-Germain as a 15-year-old. Gravenberch has been a regular in the side since last season, and his performances have led to talk of him being the next Paul Pogba. The Pogba comparison is understandable, with both 6 feet 3 inches tall central midfielder who look to be driving forces for their team, always looking for the forward pass or a run to start attacks. Both also share an agent in Mino Raiola, who could be busy in future over Gravenberch, with some of Europe's top clubs keeping track of his progress over future move. Yusuf Moukoko, Borussia Dortmund. Borussia Dortmund have a number of talented youngsters, including Jude Bellingham, who at 18 years old has emerged into a star midfielder who starts every game for Bundesliga side and has been called up by England a number of times over the last years. Another of their young stars is Moukoko, who made his Dortmund debut last November, a day after he turned 16. He scored an outrageous 141 goals in 88 youth team matches and has since gone on to net 3 times in 19 appearances at senior level, becoming the youngest scorer in Bundesliga history. Moukoko already has £9 million deal with Nike and is earmarked to be the future Ballon d'Or winner. Karim Adeyemi, Red Bull Salzburg. Red Bull Salzburg have had some talented striker in recent season, most notably Erling Haaland. Now they seem to have another star in 19-year-old Adeyemi. The Australian League isn't the toughest division, granted, but he is generating serious buzz after netting 3 goals in the Champions League. And it's no wonder Liverpool, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund are set to be interested. There have been obvious comparisons to Haaland after their Salzburg connection, but he has also been labelled as the next Arjen Robben, who is a player Ademi described as his idol growing up. The forward recently scored on his debut for Germany, and it is heavily expected he will follow Haaland and Paston Daka out of the door to a top club in Europe should he continue the way he is going. Sports Desk, DD India.
Well, that's all for now, but we will be back again tomorrow. Meanwhile, come and be a part of world's largest vaccination program as India achieve its 100 crore landmark vaccination milestone. So don't forget to get yourself vaccinated. Stay safe and take care. Bye-bye.